Hello student, today again I am going to start chapter 2nd. Topic is Indian economy from the book Indian Economic Development. This is part 5. Here we are going to discuss about green revolution. Okay, before starting it I want to tell you that in the previous chapter and in this chapter also we had learned that our agriculture sector was too much backward and stagnated during the British rule. Okay, so there are two basic reasons for this stagnation and backwardness. First is Jamindari system, okay, and second is using outdated technology. Our conventional way of farming, we are using conventional way of farming. Because of that our productivity and production both are too much low. So for the Jamindari system, the government have passed a legislation for removal or abolition of Jamindari system that we had learned yesterday. Okay, today we are going to talk about what government had done for improvement of production and productivity. Okay, so for that government introduced green revolution, our modern way of farming. Okay, so in this video we are going to discuss about meaning of green revolution, achievement or benefits of green revolution, shortcomings, risk, otherwise limitation of green revolution, and debate over subsidies to the farmers. Okay, so let me start with the meaning of green revolution. Green revolution is also, we can say, modern technology in Indian agriculture. So we can, when there is a question about, write about the modern way of farming or modern technology in Indian agriculture, you are going to talk about green revolution. Okay student, what is green revolution? So green revolution, it refers to large increase, it refers to large increase in the production of food grains due to use of HYV, due to use of HYV seed, yani high yielding variety seeds. Okay, so green revolution means huge increase, yeah, tremendous increase in production of what? Production of food grains. Because of what? Due to use of HYV seeds. When our farmers started to use HYV technology, HYV seeds, then there is 6 times or more than that uh, production increases. The production of food grains has increased more than 6 times. So that is known as a green revolution. That increase, that this tremendous increase is known as a green revolution. Okay, the term green means crops and revolution means sprout. Sprout means sudden increase. Sprout means sudden increase. Okay, so in this way the term green revolution means crop and revolution means sudden increase. So in this way when we combine these two terms, so it's mean that the term imply a spurt in crop production, a spurt in crop production. Spurt means sudden increase. So sudden increase in crop production or huge increase in crop production. So this is the meaning of green revolution. I think you are able to understand. It is very important. Okay, what is the meaning of green revolution? Huge increase, tremendous increase in the production of food grain due to HYV seeds is known as a green revolution. And the meaning of the term green revolution means huge increase in the production of crop production, huge increase in crop production, yeah, large increase in the production of food grain. This is known as a green revolution. Okay, who is known as a father of green revolution? So MS Swaminathan is known as a father of green revolution. Why? Because under his guidance and leadership this green revolution was introduced in India. Okay, that is why he is considered as a father of green revolution in India. Okay, so in this way when any time there is question about new agriculture technology or green revolution, so what we are going to write? We are going to write green revolution means high increase in crop production, high increase in production of food grain, anything you can write. Okay, so in this way the key word for green revolution is what? Increase in crop production. High increase in crop production is known as a green revolution. So I think now it is very easy. What is green revolution? Increase in crop production. High increase in crop production is known as a green revolution, and when you write due to HYV it become complete. So high increase, yeah, huge increase in production of food grains due to HYV seeds is known as a green revolution. Otherwise you can write increase in crop production due to HYV seeds is known as a green revolution. Okay, one thing, when we are talking about due to HYV seeds, so remember HYV seeds, whenever a farmer is using HYV seeds in place of conventional seeds, so it means it is not just he is going to purchase HYV seed and use it and there is too much production. No, it is having a proper system. Okay, whenever you are or any farmer is using HYV seed, he has to use fertilizer with it, then he have to combine pesticides and insecticides, and he have to give too much water. HYV seeds require more water in compared to conventional seeds. So the farmer have to give more water to crops. Okay, and he have to make use of modern equipment for cultivation. So when he use this system, then there is going to be increase in the production at least minimum more than 6 times or more than 25 times. It depend upon the farmer how he is going to implement this technology. So HYV technology means what? HYV seeds plus fertilizer plus insecticides plus pesticides plus water. Okay, so this is your green revolution or green technology. So when you are going to use this in a proper manner, in a proper and scientific quantity, then there will be tremendous increase in the production of food grain, and this is known as a green revolution. You know, before the introduction of green revolution, we are not able to produce food grain according to our nation requirement, and because of that we import wheat from America. So you can think that where the more than 75% people are engaged in agriculture sector, and they are importing wheat from which country? America. So this was the condition before the introduction of green revolution. So after the green revolution, within the 20 year, we are able to get our target, self-reliance, self-dependency on food grain. Now, today we are not required, there is no requirement of import of food grains. There are too much production. Suppose if our country requirement is 100 quintal, so our farmers are able to produce 200 quintal. So in this way there is surplus of production of food grains, and because of this surplus we are able to maintain it, and that is known as a buffer stock. Okay, I had told you in your microeconomics when I am teaching you maximum price support minimum price support policy. Okay, so now I think you are able to understand the meaning of green revolution. What is green revolution? So huge increase in crop production is known as a green revolution, or in other word, large increase in the production of food grain due to use of HYV seed is known as a green revolution. And remember, this having a proper system. Green revolution technology means we are going to use HYV seeds plus fertilizer plus pesticide plus proper water, then we are able to produce too much food grains. Okay, student, now this green revolution was introduced in our country in 2 phases. Okay, in the first phase it was only introduced in richer states. Okay, so it was introduced only Punjab, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Okay, So these are rich growing reason. Okay, why they are rich growing reasons? Because the farmer are big farmers. They are having a large land holding, and they are also having money to invest. So that is why in the first phase, because I had told you na ki HYV seeds, yeah, green revolution, HYV technology means you have to purchase seeds, you have to purchase fertilizer, you have to purchase pesticide, insecticide, and you require irrigation, proper irrigation facility. So obviously it cannot be used by the poor farmer. So that is why in initial, yeah, in the first phase, that is related to mid 60 to mid 70, it was just introduced in 3 states: Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Remember, this can be asked in MCQ. So there are the 3 states in the first phase that green revolution was introduced: Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, and one more thing, there is only two crop that is introduced in this green revolution. The first is wheat and second is rice. So green revolution जो HYV seeds थे, that is related to only wheat and rice. HYV seeds means those seeds that is prepared in laboratory by scientific way. Okay, and that's why they are going to give you more production in compare to conventional seeds. जो हम conventional seeds use करते हैं उसकी compare में जो HYV seeds हैं, they gives more production. Okay, so initially it was introduced only 3 states: Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, and only 2 crops are included in it: wheat and rice. Okay, now phase 2, that is from mid 70 to mid 80. So in this phase the green revolution was widespread, yani all over the India it was introduced. Okay, so in this, and more crop are included in that. So this is the green revolution. So green revolution means too much increase, yeah, huge increase, yeah, tremendous increase in production of food grains or crop production. Huge increase in crop production due to HYV technology is known as a green revolution. Okay, and how many phases are there? So green revolution are introduced in 2 phases. In the first phase, it is only restricted to 3 states, rich 3 states: Punjab, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu, and only two food grains are included in it: wheat and rice. In the next phase, phase 2, it was spread all over India, and more crops are included in it. Okay, now we are going to learn about the impact of green revolution. So first we are going to learn about the positive side of green revolution, and then we are going to talk about the drawbacks or limitation or shortcomings of green revolution. Okay, so let me start with the achievement of green revolution or benefits of green revolution. Okay, so first, the name or meaning clear. Green means what? Crop. Or revolution means spread means sudden increase. So when there is sudden increase in production of food grains, that is known as a green revolution. So the first achievement is what? First benefit is what? Too much increase in production and productivity. So that is our first heading. Okay, the first heading is an increase in productivity. So before the green revolution, our production and productivity both are too much low, and because of that we are importing wheat from America. Okay, we are not able to produce according to our nation's requirement. Okay, but after green revolution, there are so much increase in production of wheat and rice that we are now self dependent. Now we don't require to import it. Okay, now there are too much production of wheat and rice. So this is our biggest achievement that we gain because of green revolution. Because of introduction of green revolution, there is too much increase in productivity. Okay, so there is tremendous increase in the production of major cereals. Okay, there is one mistake, so correct it. There will be not H, okay, in the spelling, so correct it. So green revolution resulted tremendous increase in production of major cereals like especially wheat and rice. And result is that, what is its result? We are self sufficiency in food production, or we achieve the target of self dependent in production of food grains. Okay, I had told you now in long term goals. So in long term goal I had told you growth, modernization, okay, full employment, equity and self reliance or self sufficiency. तो that target we had achieved in food grain. आज हमें गेहूँ चावल बाहर से नहीं खरीदना पड़ता है. वी आर एबल टू प्रोड्यूस इन आवर ओन कंट्री. ओके, सो दैट्स वाई नाउ वी आर सेल्फ डिपेंडेंस. आज हम क्या है, आत्मनिर्भर है. ओके स्टूडेंट, now the second achievement is buffer stock of food grains. Okay, now we are able to maintain buffer stock of food grain. What is buffer stock of food grain? So suppose our country's requirement of total wheat and rice is suppose 2000 quintal, but now we are producing 6000 quintal. So in this way 4000, there is production, extra production of wheat and rice of 4000, and this was purchased by the government, and government maintain buffer stock. Okay, they store in storage house. Okay, that is known as a buffer stock. Okay, so because of green revolution our Indian government is able to maintain buffer stock of food grains. Okay, yani they are able to maintain storage house, and they are able to fill these storage house with the food grains. Okay, and why we maintain buffer stock? So obviously we are the country of the people of 131 crore. Okay, so obviously sometime there are good monsoon, there are sometime bad monsoon. So at the failure of monsoon obviously there is going to be less production. Okay, so in this case this buffer stock is used. Okay, you know now 21.9% people are still living under the BPL. So government use PDS yani public distribution system to so that they are able to get the wheat and rice. Okay, they are able to gain food requirement. So government with the help of the buffer stock able to maintain this PDS. They are able to maintain this PDS, public distribution system. Okay, राशन की दुकानों से वो आराम से जाके गेहूँ चावल ले लेते हैं, and the price is only 1 or 2 rupees. So only with the help of the buffer stock government is able to run this PDS system. Okay, so these are two things we are able to do, and just because of green revolution. Okay student, so this is the next our second achievement of the green revolution. Government is able to maintain the buffer stock. Okay, and this buffer stock is used at the time of shortage due to the monsoon failure, and for food security or for the PDS, public distribution system, in which the person who are below the poverty line, they get wheat and rice 1 or 2 rupees quintal on their ration card. Okay, now in COVID-19 time, now you had listened ki government is giving free ration for 3 months. So how the government is giving to the poor people? With the help of this buffer stock. Okay student, now the third achievement is shift from subsistence farming to commercial farming. When I had told you about the features or problem of agriculture, so I had told you that our farming is which type of? Our farming is subsistence farming. Subsistence means survival, means only farmer are able to produce this much that they can survive. मतलब वो केवल इतना प्रोड्यूस कर पाते हैं कि वो अपनी फैमिली रिक्वायरमेंट को फुल कर पाते हैं. ठीक है, उनके पास एक्स्ट्रा बचता नहीं है कि वो सेल करें और पैसे अर्न कर पाएँ. तो फार्मिंग इज़ जस्ट फॉर सर्वाइवल. They are only able to produce this much that they can survive. Okay, so before the introduction of green revolution, our farming is which type? Subsistence farming. We are doing subsistence farming, but after introduction of green revolution it became commercial farming. It become commercial farming. So it is our bigger achievement. Okay, before the introduction of green revolution, our farming is subsistence farming, but after introduction of green revolution, it become commercial farming. Okay, so what is in this heading? I'm going to explain with one example. Suppose there is a farmer A. When there is no green revolution, so he is having 1 hectare land, he is producing 6 quintal wheat, and his family member is 5, and his yearly requirement of wheat is 6 quintal, means no surplus. He is not able to sell any क्विंटल wheat in the market. Okay, so this is the condition of subsistence farming, यानी वो इतना ही प्रोडक्शन कर पा रहा है कि वो सर्वाइव कर सके. Okay, now after the introduction of green revolution, at the same land, okay, in 1 hectare he is able to produce 6 times more production. यानी before green revolution he is producing 6 quintal, now he is able to produce 36 quintal. So his family requirement is equal to 6 quintal. So now 30 quintal he can sell in the market, and whatever money he will get, that is profit from the farming. So in this way now farming become commercial farming, and it is beneficial for the farmers. They can earn money from farming. Okay, so that is written here. Let we understand it. So as a result of increase in agricultural output, now a part of production is kept for the self-consumption and the surplus is sold in the market. In the example, the family requirement is of 6 quintal. After the green revolution, a farmer is able to produce 36 quintal. So now he can sell 30 quintal in the market. So this is what this is, and the surplus of agriculture output which is sold in the market by the farmer is called marketable surplus. So what is marketable surplus in this example? This 30 quintal. This 30 quintal wheat is marketable surplus. So now agriculture has become profitable. Okay, student? So I think you are able to understand it. Now the next benefit from the green revolution is benefit to low income group. Okay, before the green revolution I had told you now कि we are importing wheat from which country? America. We are importing wheat from country like America. Okay, so obviously when we are purchasing something from outside, so that is going to be expensive. So before the green revolution, they have to purchase wheat at a higher price. But after green revolution, our farmer are able to produce too much wheat, too much rice. Okay, so because of too much production, the price of wheat and rice has reduced. So now the low income group, they can easily purchase wheat and rice, okay, according to their family requirement. So this is the next benefit of green revolution. Okay, for example, before the green revolution, suppose there is a family A. Okay, they are purchasing monthly. Suppose they purchase 50 kg wheat. Okay, and they have to pay for it. Suppose 10 kg if is of 100 rupees, so they have to pay for it 500. Okay, now after the green revolution, the price is only 20 rupees. So now they have to just pay very less for it. Okay, now they have to pay just 200 rupees. So in this way they are able to save 300 rupees. So this is the benefit and next benefit of this green revolution. So let me understand it. We know a good portion of production of wheat and rice was sold in the market during the period of green revolution. The price of food grain declined relative to the other item of the consumption. As a result of this, low income group people were benefited. Now they are able to purchase wheat and rice at a lower price, and whatever the money they are able to save, because they are getting it at a low price, so they can use it on other item. So this is the benefit, next benefit. Okay, Now, we are going to talk about the risk, our shortcomings, our limitation of green revolution. Everything have some limitations. So obviously, this green revolution is also having some limitations. So let us discuss it. So first is limited crop. I had told you na ki there are two phases in green revolution. First phase mid 60 to mid 70, and it is only related in the first phase. Green revolution is related to only two crop, wheat and rice. It is related to only two crop, wheat and rice, and in the next phase few more items included in it. Few more food grains are included to it, but still we are not able to produce pulse दालें. आज भी हम दालें अपनी नीड के अकॉर्डिंग प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाते हैं. तो इन दिस वे दिस इज द failure of this green revolution. Okay, let me understand it. So revolution rise in output is confined mainly to production of wheat and rice. So this is the limitation of green revolution. Okay, and there has been no similar rise in the production of pulse. दालों में कोई increase नहीं हुआ है, and today still we are importing pulse from outside, and that is why the price of pulse are too high. क्योंकि हम अपनी नीड के अकॉर्डिंग इसका प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पाते, दालों का प्रोडक्शन नहीं कर पाते, तो वी हैव टू इम्पोर्ट इट फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, एंड दैट इज़ वाई द प्राइस ऑफ पल्स आर टू मच हाई इन कंपेयर टू राइस एंड वीट, क्योंकि राइस और वीट वी आर एबल टू प्रोड्यूस इन ओन कंट्री. ओके, नाउ commercial crop like jute, cotton, tea, they are also not going to be benefited because of green revolution. Means green revolution is only restricted to or limited to wheat and rice. There is only increase in the production of wheat and rice. So this is the limitation. Okay, now next limitation, uneven spread. Okay, in the first phase it is only introduced into 3 states. Okay, and these 3 states are Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and okay, and in second phase it is spreaded all over the India, but majority of state are not able to get the benefit. Only those states which are having in which farmer are having big land holding and they are having money to invest, only those states get benefit from green revolution. So this is the next failure of this uneven spread. Okay, so only green revolution gives benefit to Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Okay, it only give to benefit to like these richer state. Okay, but if you talk about the eastern UP, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, so these are the state already they are too much poor and they don't get any benefit from the green revolution. So this is the next demerit or limitation of the green revolution, that it because of green revolution rich state become more richer, big farmer becomes more richer, and the poor farmers, their condition is not going to be changed. Okay, they are become more poor. Yeah, their situation is same. Okay, now the third limitation is limited farming population. Okay, so first of all it is related to only two, it is only given benefit to two food grains, wheat and rice. Second, only given benefit to richer state. Third is it is only going to give benefit to big farmers. A small and marginal farmer did not get benefit from this green revolution. So I think in very easy language it only give benefit to two food grains, wheat and rice. Second demerit कि it only give benefit to rich state like Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. Okay, Maharashtra, sorry, Madhya Pradesh is not Maharashtra. Okay, and third demerit is it only give benefit to big farmers. So here only wheat and rice, here only rich state, and here only big farmers. So this is the demerit of green revolution. So only the bulk of farming population in India consists of a small and marginal farmer. The gain of green revolution has eluded these farmer because HYB technology requirements expensive input which are beyond the reach of marginal farmer. In this way, green revolution first of all only beneficial in the production of wheat and rice. It only give benefit to rich state and only give benefit to big farmers. So this is the demerit. The last demerit or limitation of the green revolution is environmental degradation. Okay, you know now कि I had told you कि whenever we are going to use HYV seeds, so we have to use, when we are going to use HYV seeds, so with it we have to use fertilizer, we have to use pesticide, we have to use insecticides and water. So in this way it is a too much expensive. That is why it is only going to give benefit to big farmers and richer estate. Okay, that is the demerit in the previous slide I had told. Okay, now next, these HYV seeds are too much sensitive. Okay, so there are more possibility of pit or insect attacks. So the farmer have to use regularly insecticides and pesticides. Okay, so because of too much use of fertilizer, too much use of insecticide, too much use of pesticides, there is the problem of pollution, soil pollution, air pollution and water pollution. Okay, so that is the again two big demerit of the green revolution: environmental degradation because of due to use of fertilizer, insecticide and pesticide. There is too much degradation in the quality of water, air and soil. Okay student, so in this way we can say ki HYV technology means too much quantity, but there is compromise with the quality. Means when we are talking about the green revolution, so its demerit is that quantity, but we are compromising with quality. That is why now today again we are talking about organic farming, because organic farming there is no use of fertilizer, there is no use of insecticides and pesticides. Okay, so this is the big demerit of green revolution. We get too much production, but quality had decreased. Okay, and there is problem of environmental pollution. So okay, what is written here? HYV crops were more prone to attack by pest and small farmers, pest and the small farmer who adopted this technology could everything lose in the pest attack. To avoid this problem, excessive use of chemical fertilizer and pesticide was made. Okay, and this created pollution. So I think you are able to understand. So this is the next problem. In simple way, HYV, there are 4 limitation of HYV technology. First, there is only benefit in the production of wheat and rice. It only gives benefit to big state or rich state like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, okay, Punjab, Haryana, okay, and only bigger farmer are able to get benefit because it require huge investment. Okay, and the next demerit is environment pollution because of use of chemicals and fertilizers and insecticides, pesticides. Okay, now the last and next topic is debate over subsidies to farmers and agriculture. Okay, I had told you now ki HYV seeds means a proper sequence of HYV seeds plus fertilizer plus insecticides plus pesticides plus water. In this way it is a very expensive method. So government, when it introduced by the government, so there is subsidies provided by the government. Subsidies is what? Help. गवर्नमेंट क्या करती है, आधे पैसे गवर्नमेंट देती है जिससे वो चीज़ें सस्ती हो जाएं, तो दैट इज़ नोन एज अ सब्सिडी. ओके, सपोज एक 1 kg fertilizer, the price of 1 kg fertilizer is 100 rupees. So what government do? He gives 60 rupees to fertilizer industry and say to that fertilizer industry ki provide this 100 this 1 kg at the price of 40. So this is known as a subsidy. The price of 1 kg fertilizer is 100 rupees. Okay, 60 rupees is given by the government. Now 40 rupees only, the charge will be 40 rupees for the farmer. So now there is debate कि still after, because it is introduced in mid 60, तो now today it is the time of 2020, तो still there is need of giving subsidies or not. So we are going to discuss about it. Now debate over the subsidy to agriculture. So here new technology was looked upon be very risky because there is too much chances of pest attack, and again it is too much expensive. So that is why government provide incentive by giving subsidies so that more and more farmer use HYV technology. However, with the passes of the time, there has been debate over the huge amount of the subsidy granted by the government. Let me understand it. Economists in favor of subsidies. So first reason is given to provide subsidy is that it is very risky because HYV seeds, there are more chances of pest attack and insect attack. So that is why government continue to give subsidy. Second, they told that still very poor farmer, there are majority of poor are very poor farmer, they cannot afford fertilizer, insecticide and HYV seeds on market price. Okay. Third, economists told that if there will be no subsidy, so only richer farmer is able to use HYV and poor are not able to use it. So it is going to create inequality between the richer farmers and poor farmers. So these are the three reasons given by the economists who are in the favor कि continue this subsidy. आपको कंटिन्यू रखना चाहिए बिकॉज इट इज़ वेरी रिस्की, बहुत ज़्यादा पेस्ट अटैक के चांसेस होते हैं. और दूसरी चीज़ कि अभी भी बहुत सारे फार्मर बहुत पुअर हैं तो वो मार्केट प्राइस पे फर्टिलाइजर्स नहीं खरीद सकते, पेस्टिसाइड दे कैन नॉट परचेज. एंड थर्ड कि अगर हटा लेते हैं तो पुअर दे कैन नॉट अफोर्ड, रिच दे कैन अफोर्ड. तो देयर विल बी मोर disparity in the society. Okay, richer farmer going to be more rich and poor farmer is going to be more poor. Okay, now economists against the subsidy, so they have given two reasons to there should be no subsidy given to farmers today. So first reason is given by the economists that ki subsidy is given so that ki farmers started to use this new way of farming. They started to use modern way of farming. So majority of the farmers are using new way of farming. So now this is the time to reduce these subsidies, phase out this subsidies. Okay, so subsidies were granted by the government to provide incentive for the adoption of the new HYV technology. So after the wide acceptance of this technology, subsidies should be phased out. So this is first reason is given. Now second reason, they told that it does not affected the poor and small farmer targeted group. So there is no benefit to continue this subsidy. Okay, because there is no benefit to poor and richer. उनका कहना है कि इतने सालों बाद भी जो poor फार्मर्स हैं उन्हें कोई भी फ़ायदा नहीं हुआ. जैसे यूपी, बिहार, यहाँ के फार्मर्स को HYV टेक्नोलॉजी का कोई बेनिफिट नहीं हुआ है. और सब्सिडी देने के बाद केवल रिचर स्टेट और बिग फार्मर ही इसका बेनिफिट उठा रहे हैं, तो कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, इसे हटा दो. तो दैट इज़ गिवन बाय द second reason that is given by economist. So therefore there is no case for continue with the subsidy. Okay, it is a huge burden on the government finance. Now actually क्या होना चाहिए, that critical appraisal of critical appraisal. Okay, what should be? So first is that कि subsidy should be given to poor farmers only, and for the richer farmers or big farmers there should be no subsidy. Okay, like LPG gas, government should given directly whatever subsidized money to account. So I think that will be the best solution. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the critical appraisal of agricultural development. Indian economy, what was what is the benefit that land reforms and green revolution. So we are going to discuss about these two. Okay, there are two the main reason for the backwardness of agriculture sector. First is jamindari system and second is outdated technology. So for jamindari system, they introduce land reforms and result is that abolition of jamindari system. Okay, and for the outdated technology, government introduced green revolution, and because of that we are able to achieve the target of self reliance in the production of food grains. So in this way, land reforms as well as green revolution both are too much beneficial for our India. Okay, so thank you student for today, this much only. In the next video we are going to discuss about industrial reform. Okay.